Hello, it's Phil here at digitaldjtips.com. Now I want to talk to you today about the Allen Heath Xone K1 controller. Now we've reviewed this over at Digital DJ Tips. It's actually the follow-on to the Xone K2 controller and very similar, apart from this doesn't have an audio interface built into it. Our full review is over there on Digital DJ Tips. So what I want to talk to you in this video about today is just to make it a little bit clear, especially for beginner digital DJs or digital DJs who are new to digital but they've been DJing with old style gear for a long time, why you might want one of these, how it fits into a DJ setup, and why you might choose this, the K1, over the K2, the one that came before it, that has got an audio interface built in. In order to show you that, I'm going to use this, which is the Allen Heath Xone 23C DJ mixer. Again, this is new, and actually paired with this is a pretty classic and perfect modular DJ system. This replaces a DJ controller, and especially if you're the kind of DJ who doesn't see the need for jog wheels because you just don't play that way, or you want to incorporate your old-fashioned turntables or a pair of CDJs that you already own, going down this route makes a lot more sense in certain cases than buying a all-in-one DJ controller of the type that we're pretty much all very familiar with. So let's take a closer look at these two items working together. So let's start with the heart of a digital DJ system, which is always going to be your mixer. Because when you're going to have a digital DJ system that's made up of components, we've got a turntable and a CDJ here, the mix is really at the heart of it. This is the thing that you're touching all the time to do the blending of the music, if you like. And the Xone 23C mixer here has got an extremely important addition to it, which the C shows you over the top of the Xone 23, which is the other mixer which looks very similar in the Allen Heath range. And that is that this one has got a USB socket on the back here. That USB socket on the back there plugs into your computer and interfaces with the audio interface built in here. And that means that you can play 2 channels of computer audio through this mixer. Now this is really important. The reason it's important is that this controller here is just a MIDI controller. It just has the computer outputs on the back. There's no audio in this. So if you're making up a modular DJ system, you need to have an audio interface somewhere in that system. That's why these two go very well together. But it's a little bit more than that, because unlike using your USB, I could easily plug this with a USB cable into the computer, and this with a USB cable into the computer. But now I've got 2 USB cables into the computer. The computer doesn't care. The way it works is that the computer will see both of these items if you do that or not. But there is an or not, because you can use a network cable, which is an X-Link cable. This is looks similar to a network cable that you'd use on your computer. However, this one is designed to interface with this Allen Heath unit here and to take the signal between that and the mixer. Now this gives you an instant advantage by plugging that into there, an instant advantage of powering up this without having to plug it into the computer. So now the single USB will go from here to your computer, both items get recognized. Better than that, you can start to daisy chain these things. You can have one of these on either side of this as well, which is very powerful when it comes to freeing up USBs and having a simple setup with less to go wrong. The one thing about modular systems, which everyone will tell you, is that as they get more complicated, they can get less reliable, more things can go wrong. This keeps it simple, and it's one reason to pair these products with each other. Now I've got here a CDJ and a turntable, and the reason for this is to show you another modular advantage. This mixer, being a real DJ mixer, can take inputs from either phono, low level, turntable inputs, or the line input from a classic CDJ. You can play real CDs through here, real vinyl through here, and use something like this to control channels on Traktor, Ableton, other DJ software, and feed it through 1 or 2 channels on here alongside this. Or you can use something like this, again, alongside something like this to control your digital vinyl systems. Or if you've got a DVS that uses a proprietary sound card, such as Traktor or Serato, where you can't use the built-in audio interface in this particular mixer, well, you can just plug this into a mixer that has got only audio circuitry and no digital circuitry, and then use that sound card that came with your DVS system in the normal way. Now, if all this is confusing you, then don't worry, you're probably not ready for a modular system. But if you're thinking, wow, yeah, that's exactly what I want, I can tell you that this unit is very well built. It's got lots of layers down here, so you can control lots of things more than the number of buttons there are. These are all backlit, multicolour backlit, so you can program very clever mappings to give tactile feedback where the colours change depending on what you do. As you can tell, there's no writing on here. You're not being forced to do anything by kind of like presupposed guesses is what you're going to use all of this for. One person might look at this and see all 4 channels of Traktor being mixed into one channel on the mixer with bass, mid, treble, kills. Another person might see 4 different effects units being controlled, daisy chained together or used separately. Other people might look at these rotary encoders and say, you know what, I can load different tracks using these encoders and then blend them together using my remix sets in a way that I can't do with the F1 controller from Traktor because it hasn't got as many controls on it. So it just depends on what you think you're going to use it for as to the ultimate use case for this. Once you're past being a beginner DJ and you're wanting to do things you can't do on an all-in-one controller, that's when this kind of stuff is going to start making you think, oh yeah, I think I could have a go at that, and I think that might be the kind of controller and mixer setup that will let me do it. So you've seen how using the X-Link and a single USB makes it easier. You've seen how these 2 items have been designed to look good together and to work together. You don't have to choose those 2, of course. That's the whole point about digital DJing. If you wanted to stay with Allen Heath, you could go for their more expensive mixers like the DB2 or the DB4, which give you more channels, more onboard effects and so on. You could pair the mixer we just looked at with someone else's modular controllers, or that modular controller could go along with you with a separate audio interface to the club and be plugged into their mixer. So that's the whole point about these setups. They're completely flexible. But certainly as a pair of items, the Allen Heath Xone 23C mixer and the K1 DJ controller certainly work very, very well together, and quality wise they're a great pairing as well. So the full review is over on digitaldjtips.com. Thank you very much for watching this short video.